Hi guys, sorry, I'm not used to being the person who has to um, do this. Uh, there's a man who needs to talk because I don't know what I'm saying.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Center Seat Podcast. My name is JL Galloway. I'm your host for tonight. Tonight, I'm joined by my co-host Jenny Hay,
Howdy, howdy.
and of course, who can forget about our community manager himself, the one, the only Scott Sterling,
Greetings.
and of course, all the way back from Ferenginar. And I'm so glad you could join us tonight, Matt. Our Grand Nagus himself.
I almost didn't make it. My warp core broke down.
I almost didn't make it either. I'm glad you guys started late because, I was trying to get in.
And
tonight we have a guest.
we do have a special guest. This is Aaron.
Good evening.
He has his own podcast called The Hungry Trilobite.
Trilobite.
Trilobite, yes.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And
What's
he
your
has a book
podcast
out.
about? What's your podcast
but I
about?
spelled it wrong.
Sorry, I'm just turning up my audio. So, what's your podcast about, Aaron?
My podcast is about how creativity and sci-fi make our lives better. And everybody on this call right now is a great example of that. We are getting together. We were having an adventure just because we found a story on TV that we like. That has made our lives better. And I follow people who are inspirations and our success stories.
Oh, that is awesome.
And I believe this is the correct link to where you have everything.
Yep. If you were to
Right.
click on that link, you would get my podcast on any format you would like it, whether that be Apple, whether that be Google, Spotify, YouTube. It's all in there.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And he also has a book that just came out too.
This is true.
Oh, really?
Oh,
This book is aimed at people who might want to go on a convention, but maybe aren't ready to take that step. This is a way of giving them a little bit of a boost. It's kind of a travel guide on what to expect when you go in your first convention.
All right, that is awesome. So, as you guys know, this will probably be our only episode for the entire month, sadly, because three people here decided that they're just going to leave me.
Hey, you had the
And
option.
go to some beautiful tropical island without me.
You had the
Four of
option.
us are going to be on this tropical, wonderful ship.
Oh, Aaron's going too?
Yeah, Aaron's going too now.
Aaron's going as well.
Oh,
and
wow.
we have another guest that may be joining us here in a minute.
I couldn't wait. I had to go.
All I have to say is Jake could have gone.
Okay, so who else is joining us?
Lady Sonia.
Sonia. Remember,
Oh,
she doesn't
Sonia.
have a camera, but she has a mic. She's just working here.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Maybe they're soft.
Right now, I have an audience in the car.
So now there is 5 of the 6 people who are going on the cruise.
Anyway,
They're a captive audience. They don't really have a choice.
What? That makes me feel like a kidnapper.
Run around outside.
Why we could.
Wow.
Any grass?
We could.
So you guys want to? No. I'm going to be on my show and be on my best behavior today.
Wait.
Unlike these 4, Aaron, I'm excluding you from this. When you're on the cruise, be careful of these 4.
He's been on the cruise
They'll
with us.
get you into a lot of trouble, which will be a lot of fun.
Aaron's
He's
been there
on the
before. He
cruise with
knows.
us before.
Yes,
we've
I've
had
hung with these
this
people on and off of cruises.
No, but has he been part of our group before?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in that group chat last year or last
No.
time?
2 years ago,
Oh.
right? No. 2 years ago.
I mean, I knew Jenny back when I thought she was shy and quiet. That's how far back we go.
You know, I used to think the same thing too.
Actually, I know Aaron from Trek Expo days.
Yep.
Wait,
Okay.
In the city.
Jenny, shy, and quiet.
Yep. Not to
We're
mention
all
Fan
slow,
Expo
Matt.
at Dallas back when it was like this tiny little rinky-dink show.
She hasn't always been loud and obnoxious.
I was a lot quiet when I was younger. I went to the first year I went to Trek Expo was 2007. I
Yeah.
don't think we met Aaron until I don't know how we met. Was that at a bar? Or,
No, I wasn't doing the bar thing. Then I think we just ended up standing in line together a lot.
probably.
That's how it happens.
That well, in Trek Radio,
Testing,
Trek Expo
testing.
was a lot
Is
of
this
lines
working?
standing. And that's how I met some. I still know them. The Curses. I watched the son grow up, which is crazy. You know.
So Scott,
Yes.
Sonia, you guys in agreement for taking a photo when we get there, minus Jenny?
And Jay.
Can you hear me? I'm not sure. If
Yes,
my
we can hear you now,
mic's
We can
Sonia.
hear you,
working.
Sonia.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah? No Jenny in the photo?
How
No,
rude!
Jenny needs to be in the photo.
You know what,
Yeah,
Aaron? I
Jenny was going to enhance the photo.
That is evil.
Aaron and I would just do a photo without any of y'all.
I was just thinking Jenny would take the photo.
Well, you can find a random Trekkie to take the photo.
A whole bunch of Trekkies who could probably take a photo for us.
But that ruins my fun.
Wait, Matt. Matt, I got a question. Are you doing that? Because I'm not going to do that. You just find somebody to pick on.
Hold on, Aaron. Can you turn your
You're echoing.
Not sure if that was me or you.
It's Aaron.
Aaron.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Aaron. I don't think we've met.
I'm going to mute Aaron until he's ready to talk. He's on a cell phone, so it's probably just the coming out and re-hitting the microphone again. So, do you happen to have earbuds or anything, Aaron? Oh,
Jay, what were you going to ask me?
Maybe.
okay. He's going to see if he can
All
find
right,
the headphones.
so I'm going to mute for a second because I'm telling the kids to get out.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
No, I just think it would be hilarious to have a photo with missing Jenny yet again.
No.
Terrible. I couldn't
That is terrible.
years.
Because I'm being a douche, that's all.
It's already going to be harder on the 21st when I'm with everybody, so because that'll be exactly 1 year.
I know.
So
What's going to be 1 year? Oh, never mind. I don't want. Nope. I know what you're talking about.
Let's not go there.
I just went to that last month. We don't need to go there. Yeah. Just
So, is this going to be the cruise that we get to pop champagne bottles?
you gotta ask Mr. Scott that.
That's what I'm looking at.
well, no. I'm sorry. No. You can't do it this cruise. I have to be there.
No. Well, you should join us in the cruise.
Hey,
Jenny,
they can't
I
find
have
that
to
one
be
for
there.
you, Jay.
You had like 8+ years to get this over with. You got to wait for me now.
No. He better propose because his family and my family might murder him after this cruise.
We will buy champagne for the entire cruise.
How about this? If it does happen, if I want it to be recorded so I can watch it later.
No,
Yes.
I'll do it for you, Jay.
That's right, Aaron. You meet
No. Not only for me, but for the rest of her family. For your dad, for your cousins, everybody else is not going.
no.
We're all gonna want to know. We're family, Jenny.
Well, I might faint, so Daff will have to record it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That was
Is that what you said, honey? You might faint?
So
Dad?
No, I thought Sonia said, "Oh, I might faint," so Dad has to record it.
Record it.
If
Yeah.
Dad records it, I'm gonna hear a whole bunch of snark comments in the background.
Nah.
I will bring I'll bring the football.
But I have a
Anyway,
feeling that me have to
guys,
do
quiet for a
something.
minute.
No.
Why did I feel like that means something?
Guys, hold on. Aaron, you mute yourself, so you have to mute yourself if you want to talk. Okay.
I can
I
do
just
that.
wanted you to realize that. Yeah.
Scott, I'll bring the football.
Are you sure
World famous
playing football on a small cruise ship is a good idea?
Took me a second.
the world famous Scott Sterling needs to have a football in his picture.
Took me a second to realize what you're saying.
Oh, do we need to change Aaron's name to something funny on our chat?
Which chat? Which chat?
The chat you're not
Chat day.
included on.
Nope.
Wow, I see how you guys are.
It's all cruise related stuff. We don't make you feel sad.
In there.
I know, I get it. I used to be in that chat.
No,
Maybe next year.
the Bowley Starving chat was originally a cruise chat. You guys realize that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
then we
just
turned
spawned
into the
what it is.
podcast chat.
Now we
Then we
can
turned
talk-
into our podcast chat. So
Well, and
with
now,
Robert.
and now
We
it's like
did that-
literally everything for like every day.
It's a whatever chat now.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Robert right now, honestly, guys, because the amount of rain that they've got is really seriously threatening California.
Mm-hmm.
Because
turning-
a dried bed lake that has been gone for a long time is all of a sudden reappearing.
Yeah.
If they don't get that under control, a lot of people are going to be out millions of dollars in property damage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So-
Should we get to actually what the whole podcast is about? It's
I-
been 16 minutes in. Oh wait, do
Well,
we have to
wait a
wait for the 45 mark like Chase says?
That's only when Chase is
The
here.
joke is that we're supposed to be a Star Trek podcast, but we're pretty much a little bit anything and everything. It's whatever we want to discuss during that week.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not like you say it's a Star Trek podcast. It's the center seat. It could be any seat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you see the newest announcement?
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
news announcement?
You won't get on Jay because you don't get cruise emails.
Oh, yeah. That
They-
was interesting.
Essentially, they have added an additional guest that is in Discovery Season 5 that we don't know who they are playing.
We haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a clip or a preview. Or
So they're
something.
teasing.
It's kind of
I know.
we'll get on the ground floor with this person. We kind of talk to them before the buzz starts, which I'm going to enjoy. Trying to look at
Didn't
the
they
silver
do that
lining
with
here.
She's a
with,
good actress.
No, with what's the captain? Oh my God, take my check card away. Where's the captain that says
Anthony
no?
Shaw.
Or Stat.
Shaw. Yeah.
Todd
Didn't
Stashwick.
we-
Todd Stashwick.
I'm
Yes.
hoping it's him.
Shaw.
We need more of him.
No, I'm saying that Cruz did that. Remember, he joined before we knew he was on Picard.
Well,
Mhm.
no, we had one episode of Picard, and we already saw him in the first episode. Then we went on the cruise, and that's when episode 2 and 3 came out.
Yeah, we barely knew him, but we
Okay.
did know him.
Yeah.
And he was
Mhm.
great.
Discovery season 5 is not scheduled to come out until like April or May.
Yeah,
So it's going to be the
maybe
cruise where we don't have like a premiere of an episode.
Sometimes
sorry?
they do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we might get an episode of the first episode of Discovery on the cruise.
We have several Discovery people on there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in all honesty, Discovery's been ready for a while now.
I mean, we might, but I don't think it's going to be, because that's going to be a lot of NDAs they're going to have to get people to say or write down.
Mm.
A lot of people. Like on the premieres, we could do it because it was coming out that week. But
That's true.
Discovery's not supposed to come out till October,
They,
the fall.
they send out teasers. They can give us one.
Yeah,
No,
they
it's,
can give us a new teaser, yeah.
It's April, I think, is when Discovery comes back.
I can't remember nowadays. My brain is.
I
Yeah,
think I
'cause
heard
I think it's like Discovery, Prodigy, Lower Decks, like in the end of the year. First
Prodigy-
half of Prodigy.
Prodigy doesn't count.
It's still Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's Bastard Star Trek.
Aww. I
I
like
You know,
it.
wait. The same could be said of the animated series, and that's still Star Trek.
It very much is.
That's not what
I'm
I
very,
mean.
I'm a hardcore animated series / Prodigy dude. So
No, don't get me wrong. I like Prodigy, but from day one, it's been treated like the redheaded stepchild.
I can see where Matt's going. that
Mhm.
it did not get the right love for a Star Trek series.
It was designed to be on Nickelodeon, and Paramount Plus was an afterthought.
Well, I think the other problem with it too is, right, the older fans are the ones that really gravitated towards it, not the children. And
No,
I think it was
there were people who sat with their kids and
Yeah,
watched.
No,
who's old
my
around
kid-
here? Come on, I'm the oldest. I
no,
love
my
it.
kids was
You,
no,
you
my
might
kids
be
was a
right.
target demographic, and they had no interest in that. They both preferred to watch Lower Decks.
No, it was for lower, not your kids. Your kids are teenagers. It was for more like what, like
12-year-old.
7 and 12? Yeah.
My cadet is about 10, and she is like the perfect demographic and loves Prodigy.
Yeah, I can see she loving it. And then our friend Chase, he watched it with his daughter, who I think is like 5 or 6 now.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I hear you guys are saying, and yeah, that's what the target age group is. But let's be honest, the first couple episodes are really dark.
I was going to say that too. There are some dark.
Very dark, especially for little kids. I would not have allowed
Have you
a
seen
younger
those
younger
kids
kid. I would allow a
programs?
10-year-old, but I wouldn't have allowed like a
His
7 or
shows in
6-year-old.
general nowadays.
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, everybody on this call probably grew up watching Willy Wonka and Neverending Story, and those things are dark as heck.
Dark
Yeah,
Crystal.
you want to talk about scary cartoons? He-Man. He-Man was a scary cartoon in many ways.
Sure.
So what's the difference
Well,
of an originality?
What I mean by that, Aaron, because I don't forget to say my humor, is it has so many innuendos, and our parents had no idea what we were really watching. And then now they're all getting older, right? And they're finally starting to take interest in in their grandchildren. You've seen the TikTok wars. And then I love telling my mom all the time, well, it's your fault. You used to let us watch He-Man, and all the innuendos are in it, and now we're more of a culturally accepting society, right? And I blamed her because she was never paying attention to what we watched.
See, my cousin apparently agrees.
Yeah.
Unless you have my
Anyway,
parents who intentionally
don't get me wrong,
corrected you, that's a whole
I
different
really
story.
liked He-Man growing up. It was I felt like back in those days we were being culturally desensitized to accepting the fact, right?
To the cruise before we lose people. Before we start really getting
Maybe to talk about the cruise, true.
Wait, Jenny, you wanted to stay on topic?
For what? Yes. I don't have where's our? Do I have
The negative
it?
view.
I think he just turned his camera off for a minute.
I'm here.
He's still there.
Wait, we can add background music now to these. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Finger-
I don't want to deal with copyright. Let's find some copyright-free music later.
Wait. Well, it should be if it's on here. It should be copy.
I would still be
I'm
careful.
gonna
because
play
of-
like 10 seconds of this, okay?
Okay.
Because 10 seconds not gonna hurt us. This is called Into Space.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't want to do too much of it because then we will get copyrighted. But that doesn't sound like Into Space to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, one more. I'm
Maybe I
sorry.
heard more of it.
And do it again. This is called Feeding the Ducks.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm not wrong.
sorry. My tangent's over with. I was looking for. Where is it? Did we get rid of our tangent site?
Oh, or there's also.
I thought I was gonna sneeze and oh no. Oh.
Fair enough.
It's also
Well,
that.
well, here we go again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cruise.
Yay.
We have 2 weeks and a day because we officially leave tomorrow. Will be 2 weeks until we actually leave out.
Mhm.
Why are you leaving a couple days? No, I'm being serious about this. So why is it a good idea to leave a couple of days
I haven't good
ahead
idea.
of the cruise?
Hold on, we're getting there.
I just like you to know, in 2 weeks tomorrow is official time we
Welcome
get
back.
on the ship. Yesterday, most of us are flying down 2 weeks. We're flying out 2 days early.
I'm flying out next Thursday.
Right. But Matt's going to do some family stuff and some work stuff.
Matt's going to do some family stuff. Yay.
Yay, family. We love
Yeah.
them. We hate them.
I got a dog.
You do what a dog.
What is that?
So, Jay had a good question. Why do we fly out 2 days prior?
I'll tell you why. Because if you don't fly out 2 days prior and a winter storm comes through and grounds all the planes,
Like
Or-
Portland was closed last year.
or closes down an entire freaking state, and when that person doesn't want to listen to you to go north, when the airport
Oh,
You
no.
can't go north. You can't go north. North was blocked off because
you had
okay, so Oregon's a lot like Texas. Yeah, I'm going to say this. Oregon's a lot like Texas. When we get a snowflake, the whole state freaks out. All right, everything shuts down. Everything closes. People start panicking. They start going to the grocery stores and mass buying everything.
It really.
But if you would have
But
started,
go on with your story.
if you would have started heading to Seattle for the airport, you would have made
Can't
it.
go forward.
Would have made it in time
Okay.
to fly out.
What
So, I have
about
a
2 years
question.
ago when we woke up to a freak ice storm?
Yeah.
Like, we had
We'll
no
go back
clue
to
it was ice.
You had to
we'll go back to that. How am I supposed to get through I-5 when it's a parking lot?
Everything I had multiple friends make it. Is all I'm saying.
Wait, okay, we have that.
I was in Beaverton, which is a suburb, about 25 minutes from Portland, and
Yeah.
I couldn't make it.
Well, they were farther south than you, and they made it.
Then they probably went south.
We went out of
Anyway,
BP.
back to the K guys.
Anyway,
We can argue about this all day long.
Yeah.
anyway,
So, or it could be where Scott, Jay, and I, and Jen, we all
Mhm.
woke up one night to the next day to a freak ice storm that we had no clue was going to happen.
let me,
Until Scott and I get woken up at 7:30 in the morning. I still remember this.
I
To
was,
Jay pounding on our hotel door and going, "Look!" and like throws the phone. in our face.
I was blowing my earphones up trying to get a hold of you guys because I'm in Florida. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
guys, this is shut down. It's 6 in the morning. What can I do to help you?
Yeah, and Matt was the one who kind of got us to think about looking down in Houston, San Antonio, Austin area.
Yeah.
And then we finally got flights down
suggestion.
there. And then we had to find because I didn't want to drive my car down there because I already had return tickets back to Dallas. And that was a nightmare trying to change that ticket down to Houston and drive back up. We
Yeah.
managed to get
That was a great
car.
trip.
We managed to get a car to drive
What
down.
kind of car was it, Jenny?
Huh?
We
What
beat
kind
that
of car
one
was it, Jenny?
to death too, but go ahead.
It was a Ford, but it was a newer Ford. I felt okay with
Desperate
it.
times, you take desperate measures.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So that's
Guys,
2 years in a row the weather got us. So
You know,
we're
that car was $400 to rent for what? Barely 12 hours.
Yeah, barely.
But you guys made it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped freaking out once I knew you guys were on the road heading towards south to get plane tickets. And
So it was an interesting road trip because we stopped at every Buc-ee's along the way.
Someone had a small bladder.
That was partially to blame, but no, we also wanted to stop at every Buc-ee's. Get up and
This
stretch.
dude
hey,
had
Eric,
a every 5 minutes.
Eric has a question.
Yes.
Does
Pop it up.
Jay have all his emergency supplies he panicked bought last year?
Do I have all my? Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm a scoutmaster, so I always have my emergency supplies. It's in a big tote, and it has about 30 days worth of food.
Which everybody
and
should have
batteries and
something like
everything.
It's a good thing.
Huh?
It's a good thing.
So
Yeah.
Everybody should have something like that because you never know what's going to happen.
Definitely.
But I'm
Well,
also going to bring up Eric's excursion 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Eric wakes up morning of his flight, and by the way, he's leaving the day before the flight or before the cruise, and it's pretty much an ice rink all the way from his house to Grand Rapids.
Wow.
He was lucky enough to get on a plane out of Grand Rapids because we know multiple people who ended up driving straight down from Michigan.
Yeah.
Ugh, horrible.
so all of our lessons learned, no matter when you're taking a cruise, this is just generic, not just Star Trek cruise. This is a cruise in generically,
Especially in winter.
especially winter. But hey, summertime, you never know. Your flight could just randomly get canceled.
Mhm.
True.
You never know.
We could have an economic meltdown where Frontier ends up being no more at the last minute.
There could be some weird. It's hard to just either you are planning to fly, if you're going to plan on flying 2 days early at the earliest, but at least try at least a day ahead. If you can't do 2 days, at least a day ahead. Do not.
If you're going to do the day, make it first thing in the morning so you have time.
Do not try to fly in the same day you're going to get on the cruise ship.
Because
You don't know.
the cruise ship is leaving at 4 p.m. on the dot. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They
And
don't.
most people have to be on the
They
day
don't-
by 3.
They don't wait. They have to be out of there at that time because there's another ship coming in right behind them.
Yep.
Like, for example, just to use it myself, I'm coming from Oklahoma City. That is just slightly less than 16 hours of a drive. And my rule to myself is I will not take a flight that if I don't make that flight, if something happens, I cannot turn right around and get in the car and drive my ass down there. Can I say ass in the show? Sorry.
Yeah.
I said bastard earlier. Of course you could say ass.
Just don't say pickles, okay? Just don't say
That is
pickles and
always-
guacamole.
That is always my plan B, is that if that flight fails, I still have time to get in the car and make it happen.
We were looking at that too. If we couldn't get flights, that we were talking about driving there at one point.
Yeah, we were.
A road trip down to Florida.
So
So always just have a backup of a backup.
yes. I think we've nailed that. I think we've a dead horse.
Mhm.
Next thing next most important thing you gotta remember to do. And this happened last year, unfortunately. Make sure your IDs and passports are on your body when you arrive at the cruise port.
Amen.
Not in a bag, not in your luggage, not in someone else's bag, on your body. They better be tattooed to your skin.
Oh,
The hard way.
actually, it's already too late for this cruise, but make sure you guys get your passports well in advance if you haven't already got them.
Mhm.
Because the reason why I couldn't leave early last year is because Nathaniel's passport was literally expedited and sent the night before. Well, I was supposed to fly out.
So technically, you don't have to have a passport if you're going from a U.S. port back to a U.S. port. You just need your birth certificate. And it's a little longer process if you do not have a passport.
This is true.
So,
But
you
it's
can,
preferred.
but it's preferred. It's so much easier because when you get off the ship, we'll get to that in a moment. I'll just tell you this: if you have a passport, you just go up, get your face scanned, and leave. That's your customs. That's all. You don't have to talk to anybody or anything like that anymore. But
Yep.
if you do the birth certificate, I think you have to talk to somebody. I don't know. I don't know anybody who has gone through the birth certificate route.
You go through the old-fashioned way, where you talk to a customs agent, and they ask you what was your business on the cruise, and then they stamp your visa back into the country, and you go out. It adds about 25 minutes to the debarkation process for you.
So we'll go back to boarding the ship. A few things.
Have
Go
your
ahead and-
passport or driver's license or birth certificate tattooed to your body.
We got
Thank
that.
you, Matt. We love you.
Also,
We will not forget.
do the pre-check, guys. Do the pre-check, like
Yes.
putting your passport into the app, doing all the app-related stuff. Also, when you go to it, it's like TSA, so be prepared to have your stuff go through an X-ray machine. Read whatever cruise lines you're going to. Now, this is Star Trek, but this is basic stuff for us right now. This is for any cruise line. Read the cruise line, what you can and can bring on the ship. Most cruise lines are not going to allow you to have extension cords or kettles or irons, stuff like that.
If it's got a heating source, it's generally not allowed on the cruise.
Except for straighteners and curling irons. Those are allowed.
Yes.
But anything else, yeah. But just read. There's a lot of things you can do. Some cruise lines you can bring alcohol. Some you can bring a sodas. But just look at your website. Also, when you get on, bring anything that is important to you. So your passport, your ID, your money, if you have any money, and medications.
Let's talk a little bit more about this. Be prepared to have your luggage rummaged through before it gets to you.
Mm-hmm.
We had a problem at the airport because I had made fake Klingon daggers for that Mirror Universe, or they were Mirror Universe daggers, and they looked real when you scan them, but they weren't real. So they had to pull us aside and open up, and they, what is this? And they looked at it and go, oh, this is fake. Okay.
So anything like a weapon type thing that looks fake, I would suggest checking it and doing that way, and then put a note in your luggage for TSA to understand that this is a prop weapon, whatever, so they know. Sometimes if you tell people at the gate, like if you have a normal gun, you have to tell them that you have a gun, all that stuff. Tell TSA agent, hey, I don't know if you need to mark this, but I do have what looks like fake guns or whatever in my suitcase.
Pirates are going to bring a lot of fake cutlasses and things. We have 2 plastic ones, so probably put it in the check bag.
Also, so
I still declare that because every time I've done it, I've always declared, and they're like, "That's fine. Thank you for letting us know." And then they mark it.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cruise ship will go rummage through your luggage. That is not if they will or they may. It is they will, and they are looking for contraband.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to understand the reason they do this is because fires and ships do not go well together.
No.
But that also brings up a good point. So a lot of us will have lock. Don't engage your lock until you get inside the cruise, until you get inside your room.
You can do everybody can get a key for it. So it's kind of pointless nowadays. But
otherwise, security is going to turn around and just break your lock anyways to get into your suitcase.
And I will tell you this: I have seen the amount of hair dryers and steamers and coffee pots that these people they confiscate every cruise. It's a good 100 to 150 items, and guess what? You don't get them back. They don't have time to tag that kind of stuff.
Nope. So just be mindful of what you're packing and look at the website of whatever cruise line you're at. Getting on the cruise ship. Okay, you got through your security, you got your passport, you got your key card. Get on the cruise ship. Number one thing you do before you do anything else is you go to your muster station.
Yes.
Back in the olden days, they would make you go and stand and listen to everything. Now, most likely since COVID, they make you watch a video on your phone, which you can do anytime prior to, I think, the day of or the day before to the day of. You just look at your phone, watch a little video, then you go straight to wherever your muster station is. Now, the muster stations will be on your card, your key card.
They'll also be on your phone.
And on your phone, too.
Yeah, they're on your. They're actually on your
Go there and
pass.
they just scan your card, and that's it. It's the easiest thing ever. Do it the first thing you get on the ship. Because they will call out names of people who do not do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not hard.
And like last year, there were a few people that, didn't do it, and they kept counting the number of people until they got down to a reasonable amount, and then they were shouting those people out by name, like, you got to do it because we can't leave.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And it's not hard. I don't understand why people don't do it. It's not hard at all.
It's actually a lot easier than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Eric,
Back in the day, you had to go stand out. Well, we had to stand outside in like a little square and like line of people.
Yeah.
But hey, that's how we met. But it's
They used
also
to all but put you in the lifeboat before they did the drill.
Yep.
Yep.
But
So
I mean, we met two of what we refer to as our muster buddies, like just standing in line because we were waiting for them to start, and we started chatting.
So can I also mention something? The next thing I think anybody should do is know who you are, right? Are you an extrovert or are you an introvert? That is especially if you're an introvert, like my wife is, they don't usually like big areas. So keep that in mind when you're first boarding, because everybody's going to be in a lot of places. The key places most people are going to be is like the promenade area. They're going to be up on the top deck, and they're also going to be in the windjammer. So if that's an issue for you, find some of the other places, like where you could pull away for a minute, like the library or some of the other areas. Well, I think the year we used, they used the library, so we actually had to go over to the fifth area. You remember that, Jenny? We disappeared for a little while and then we came back.
Yeah. And
so just remember that when you get on the ships, it's literally, for those who haven't gone to a convention before, you have about 4,000 people in that ship? All crammed in, going to the same area that you want to go to. So if you don't like large crowds, then I would probably recommend waiting for the big rush to get through. Either, find out where your room is, even though you can't go in there, try to get a lay of the land, because sometimes that helps too. If you just try to walk around to the other areas that may not be so busy right now, like, oh, this is where the main theater is, this is where, Studio B is, things like that.
And also be mindful, everybody is running around that ship the first day.
Yeah, so that's what I say. So if you do have issues like that, just keep that in mind, that the first day is going to be a little chaotic, but once we get into a rhythm and a pattern, people are going to be coming and going, and sometimes it'll be really, really busy, but majority of the time it's going to be, why is everybody here?
And the line sometimes, if you need help, is really long at the beginning. Like PCP desk.
If you need to talk to customer service and you can wait,
the cruise desk.
Waiting.
Yeah. The best time to go to customer service, in my opinion, at least what I found when I went on the cruise ship, was when the shows are going on.
Yes.
Because the majority of people will be in the shows.
That or late at night. So they're always there, and they can always help you no matter what it is. If you can wait till late night's great.
Yeah.
Just by the way, don't tell Eric this, but our muster station is on deck 3.
Ooh.
At least it's not in like a dining room or
it's in Studio B.
Oh, he's gonna really love that. He's gonna love that so much. Because the ship's dying, the ship's sinking. You want to go to Studio B.
Now,
don't tell Eric because he'll freak out.
Okay. Nobody tell Eric.
Studio B is like on the lowest level you can go to, and it's the ice skating rink. So.
Don't tell Eric; he'll freak out.
What does C8 mean?
Huh?
It just says C8 on ours.
That's your muster station. It's most likely most of them are. Most of the muster 95% of the muster stations are going to be on the outer deck.
On deck 4.
On deck 4.
Yeah, I'm checking. There's a way you can check on your app.
I believe, Love, you and I are B5.
There are a few that are in the main theater. There are a few in the back of the ship or front of the ship. near the helipad, but all of them are within walking distance of a few seconds to lifeboat.
Mm-hmm.
Question: is there enough room on those lifeboats for everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Doesn't look like there's very many lifeboats.
Sonia, have you ever seen them?
No, but those
By
new
law,
lifeboats are double decker.
They have to have 3 more lifeboats than they do for the number of people on the ship.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
it will be fine.
Thank
But I
you.
just made the-
Yes, but they're not comfortable.
It doesn't mean that they're not meant to be comfortable. They're meant to get you away from what's going on into
Get
safety.
But
60 people in a lifeboat. Come on now.
Yeah.
no, I say, but if you're interested, Sonia, into learning more, I could probably find you a couple of videos and send them to you because
I've seen
somebody
them
on
from the outside, but I didn't know what they look like. You know.
well, no,
There's a
like,
lady.
who is done
There's-
one.
There's a lady that Cruising His Crew has. She worked for
Her
a bunch
too.
of the various lines, and she actually has done a tour to show you what's in them and all that stuff. So
Oh,
I'll try and
cool.
find the video and send it to you.
Thanks.
If you put it this way,
It's
you're a
fine.
sardine. You're a sardine. When those things are jam packed, you're a sardine. You're like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And
Somebody
you know what?
right above your head or somebody else's feet.
There's also a day's amount of water and food
Yeah.
on them for 60 people.
But that's not think about that. That's magnifies a good cruise. Okay, so we got on.
Yeah, really.
We got a
That's
messenger station. What- next thing is
Oh, no.
plan out what we want to do next.
Eric, we're on deck 8. So yes, you do have to go down 5 decks below, below the water level.
Oh,
We're just making him just really want to go on this cruise.
Yeah, I
guys.
know.
I got a picture of it. His last cruise.
Oh man.
So okay, anyway,
it's
so
like
you got on
Titanic all
the
over again.
ship. You got on the ship. You done your muster station. You walked around. Now you got to decide: do you want to go to the pool or do you want to go eat? Those are the two
Jenny,
things
can
to do.
I'm gonna
Unless
throw
your name
something
is
out there.
Matt.
Wait, hold on, guys.
Unless your
Wait,
name is
Hold on,
Matt.
hold on, guys. Hold on. Let Aaron speak, please.
Before you get something to eat, before you go to the pool, I just want to throw this out there. If you have any inclination to go to the spa or the salon during this week, this is the time to make that appointment before everybody else rushes up there and gets it. I don't care how hungry you are. I don't care how much of a shower you want. I don't care how much you want to swim. Get yourself on that schedule as soon as you possibly can, and then go do whatever else you want to do.
And that also brings up another point too, like dinner reservations at one of the like paid restaurants. That's the time to do it too.
There
If
you
you're
Yeah,
go.
we.
not- You're not pre-booked. Yes.
Yeah, we're
Um,
Scott. You and Jenny need to make a third night reservation at Izumi for 5:30 because we've got it reserved for us two, but we couldn't do it for you. We
Okay.
wanted you to, you know what I mean?
Okay, we'll,
Mhm.
we'll discuss it after this podcast real quick.
Yeah, because it was confusing to me.
Okay.
So, Jenny said you had 2 options. You actually have more than 2 options.
Well, the two I was gonna say the two main options that people do.
Yeah. The another one. If you've never been on the cruise ship, it's a great time to wander around.
Well, that's
Yes.
what I
Oh,
said.
yeah.
But let's also not forget cruise ship tradition. A lot of people, and I said Matt would probably benefit from this one. I know a lot of people when they first get on the ship, they want to get that first drink.
You
The
know,
final-
I already got my drink before I made it
Yeah.
on the ship.
No, and I don't just mean alcohol drink. I mean like some of us get the soda package, so you want to get that too, so you can have it with you when you go to lunch. I think we lost Aaron.
Well,
Okay.
he's
So, I mean,
in
that's
the
the other
room,
thing.
so it's gonna be just
Here's the most important thing you got to know about that time.
Yeah.
Okay. Your luggage will not be ready at your room maybe till 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It takes some.
rooms are
long
usually
time.
ready between 1 and 2, but sometimes you won't get your luggage till maybe 6 or 7 at night.
So make sure you pack a change of clothes. A change of clothes, your bathing suit, and whatever you might need for that first night in your carry-on bag.
And
Because
you will
because
have to
you
do that
might need it.
everywhere you go. So sorry, Matt. Sorry.
You might need it.
And
Yes.
when you're packing that stuff, think of what you want to, like, do you want a backpack? The first year I made a mistake at bringing on my rolling-on, my little luggage, and that got really annoying carrying that around everywhere.
Mhm.
Yes, phone charger, toothbrush goes on
Yes.
the carry-on.
Then you might use that first night.
So that brings up another point. Okay, there are only 5 United States style plugs in your room, and then the rest are European.
Just 2.
There were 5 last year.
For the
Yeah, Matt's right. There were 5.
You
there were
got
5?
you
But
got
that was
two-
last year. That's I remember the Mariner not having as many.
You got 3 on the little light up desk area and 2 in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I trust you. I'm gonna look at pictures I have.
But anyway, what I'm coming down to with that is plugs are scarce for more than 2 or 3 things to be plugged in at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna bring in, if you want more plugs, bring a universal European adapter.
Also,
I definitely recommend it because I have a European adapter, and it was nice to actually have 2 set of plugs.
Yeah. Most cruise lines do not allow you to leave things plugged in while you're away from the room.
They will unplug them for you.
They will unplug them for you. So just be aware, if you do leave something in your room plugged in, thinking you need to charge while you're gone, and they go and clean it, then, just be aware that they will unplug it.
So I don't know if this is still true, or I don't know if it was a COVID thing, but when I went last time, they had a double turn down service, right? One during the day and then one at night. Do they only do the one now, or did they go back to 2?
Last I read, they're only doing one turn down service. Right?
Yeah,
So remember that, guys. So if they do the morning one and you think, oh, well, they're already done, no, they're going to do a night service too, and they'll unplug it again. So just keep that in mind. That's why I usually charge all my stuff at night.
Right, but I'm just letting people like, oh, well, I'll let this charge while I'm out and about.
Yeah.
In the morning, usually the one in the morning is when they actually do the cleaning, and then at night is when they come in and they just really turn your lights on, close your curtains if you have a window, and turn down your bed.
And that's usually too when we get the poster for the evening or whatever gift it's going to be in the schedule for the following day.
Hello gift. That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
They call it a hello gift.
Did you guys see my message?
I just
Yeah, I got to do some testing a little bit.
Okay.
No, but you guys be able to work with me after.
What I was saying, since we could just hit some highlights real quick and then call it if you want to do it that way.
Well, I didn't know if Aaron was coming back, or did he?
He's back.
I think he went to his laptop, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Like I said, you guys don't have to end it. You guys started it. Jenny, you have admin rights, so.
Yeah.
And I'll watch the rest of the show when I get tomorrow at work.
Okay.
When I get tomorrow, I like that.
All right, guys. I'm gonna take off, but it's been fun. I'm sorry I couldn't stay the whole entire time, but they sent me a text asking if I could do some testing. All right, guys. Live long and prosper.
Later.
Now that Jay's gone, we can actually do some actual conversation about the group.
Right. That sounds terrible, but yes.
So, okay, so that's your arriving on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Couple things to remember about being on the ship. That yes, you pay for gratuities ahead of time, but it's still nice to tip your room steward and anyone else that gives you assistance. I'm not saying you got to throw them $1,000, but at the end of the year, end of the week, it isn't a bad idea to give the room steward $100.
What we feel comfortable. A good thing. Sorry.
They work for pennies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Literal pennies. So
put that money off to the side so you don't accidentally use it, you can't really. On the ship, you're going to have a card, and that's going to be for everything. That's going to be your room key. That's how you can charge things to your room. That's how you can get on and off the ship.
Yeah. And everything is charged to the room. There is no using a credit card on the ship, with the exception of you might be able to use it in the casino to charge for more chips, but that's a maybe. Most casinos are now going away from that on the cruise ship.
You can bring cash onto the cruise ship for, going to port, but also you can put cash on your room. So if you don't want to use a card or you want to be more cautious about how much you're spending, you can bring cash, go up to the customer service desk, and add that money onto your account. You can do that.
They're not a bank, so you only get that cash back at the end of the cruise.
Yeah, and as a credit onto your card, you don't get the cash. Well, I didn't try. I had like $2 left or something, and I was like, well, it's $2, whatever. But they actually credited it back onto the card that I originally had on the account.
Now there's one way to get cash if you need cash without using the ATM machine, and that's going to this casino and sitting on a slot machine and using your card to put money into the machine. But if you do not play a little bit, one or two spins, and you do an immediate withdrawal, they will shut down your availability to do that. Because it's not there for you to get cash, it's there for you to play the games.
Okay, so we got the first day taken care of. You get back from from the days. You will get a cruise compass mission. I don't know what they call it on the.
It's cruise compass.
It's a cruise compass. Okay. That's going to tell you what's going to happen the next day on the ship. Highly suggest everybody take a picture of it. On a normal cruise, it's through your app and you don't have to do anything. But since this is a charter cruise, the app's not going to be able to put all that stuff in. The app is really good to book reservations and to chat with people, because you can chat with people without having internet. That's one good thing about the app. That's Royal. I don't know about any other cruises if anybody's asking about those. So, my brain. So take a picture of your cruise compass the night before, and that way you have it on your phone. So let's say you're out and about and you go, oh, what time was that show I wanted to go to? You can just look on your phone. You can highlight and bring the paper with you if you want to. Skana likes to put those on the door, on the wall with magnets, because your room is metal, so you can hang things on the wall, which is great.
What I was saying is bring a highlighter, highlight the shows that you're interested in or things you're interested in doing, then take a photo of it. That way they stand out on the photo even more so.
That's true. Yes.
And it's quicker, you're running off your phone.
I used to be a big fan of actually taking the physical paper with me, but by like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, that thing becomes like Blackbeard's treasure map, where it's like ragged and dog-eared. It's like taking the photo is a much better idea.
And so the schedule is going to come out any day now, but it's going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes on a daily basis.
Yeah, and it could change 3 or 4 times on a day. So that night, they send you out the most up-to-date schedule possible. Also, if you hear the tones, it's usually doo-doo-doo. All right, this is JT, your cruise director here. Make sure you kind of pay half attention to what he's saying, because he's going to be updating you on what's going on. We can't go to port today because of weather. Oh, crap. So these are the activities we're going to be doing. We're going to have a party, free alcohol on the pool deck for everyone. Come on up. Or
That's happened before. I remember that on cruise.
This panel has been moved to the main theater due to the fact that there are way more people wanting to attend than we originally planned. so we're moving it to the main theater, or man overboard because
Oh,
someone
jeez.
pissed off a Klingon.
Just a random thought. There is Facebook groups out there that you can join that people have great chats in them. I joined a few chats, about arts and crafts, or if you're, Klingon, you want to learn about Klingon stuff. There's some great Facebook chats in there that will help you a lot. You can always contact most of us. We can give you answers to anything, almost anything.
If you see us on the cruise ship, come
Say
over.
hi. Please say hi.
I don't bite unless you ask me to.
So in the cruise ship, you're having fun. There's not much there. Just be respectful of celebrities. They all gonna be wandering around the ship just like you.
You can say
They're gonna eat in the restaurant just
Say
like you.
hi.
Say hi. But if they're eating, let them eat. How would you feel if someone comes and starts talking to you while you're trying to eat?
Yeah.
You know?
If they're in a small group of people off in a corner, leave them alone.
Yes.
If they're
Very human beings, too.
in a large group of people or they're in the middle of the room, okay, it's a little bit more appropriate to approach them. But if they're kind of in the back or in a corner of one of the bars or restaurants or lounges, they're trying to stay away from you.
But if they, if you look at them, smile, nod your head, and they make eye contact, and sometimes they'll come over to you, like Nicole DeBoer last year came over to our table, and just started talking, and it's like, wow, that was so cool. She just
if you respect them, they will respect you back.
Yes, Billingsley, he loves to chit chat and get a drink. Doug Jones loves to come down and talk.
He loves to hike.
Eddie Rabbit, whenever he's not in rehearsal, he's on the promenade area. He loves the fans. The ones
Garrett,
that want to be with, Garrett. The ones that want to be with the fans will be very, very visual. The ones that don't, they have a place to hide. They hide.
Another thing,
by them, it's their vacation too, guys. You remember, it's their vacation too.
Well, they're
working, but it's also vacation.
Working vacation, yeah.
One thing to keep in mind is that because they're working, their days are sometimes very tightly scheduled as to where they need to be when. So you may catch them walking in the hallways at a brisk pace, and if they don't have time to stay and talk, that's not them being rude. That's them keeping to their commitment to be at a certain place at a certain time. So please be respectful of that. If they just kind of say hi and keep walking, they just have someplace they have to be, and they're contractually obligated to be there.
Yeah, they're not trying to blow you off. If they wanted to blow you off, they'd be in their private lounge, and that's the fact.
And you'll be on elevators with them all the time.
Oh yeah.
You are going to run into so many of the celebrities at any given random moment. It's not going to be funny.
Sometimes you don't even realize you're in the same elevator with one.
Yeah, we're just right behind you.
I danced with Tawny Newsome for like 25 minutes one night. Denise Crosby kissed me on the lips after I bought her a tequila shot.
Yeah, so they're fun, and like I said, we can keep going on and on about them.
Yeah.
Like I said,
respect.
they're human beings. Respect. If you give them respect, they will respect you back. If they start getting interrupted, they're going to hide.
Yeah. And I want to say this because Jay hit it on the head earlier about it being an introvert hiding. Some of these guys are introverts, surprisingly enough, and so they do hide. So don't feel bad. But when they're out and about, go ahead and say hi, as long as they're not running to a rehearsal.
Also,
there'll be a lot of times to interact with them.
Don't be that person where you happen to see somebody go into a cabin and go blast everybody and go, Garrett Wong's in cabin 522. You know, don't do that.
That's not
No,
nice.
that's not nice. I've seen it happen in years past.
Bad.
Or
And
they
you're
go
not-
looking for the luggage because your luggage is outside your room when it gets delivered.
So, for the most part, the celebrities are all going to be on deck 10.
Yes.
And
But
deck
I'm
10 is going to have security guards at the entrance of the hallways for deck 10. Unless you're staying on deck 10, you will not have access to those hallways. So be aware. Do not think it's weird. They're protecting people from you guys and from us doing stuff that is not appropriate. No.
But I've seen it with people who looked at the luggage and saw what room they're in and just don't.
Most
Just
people
look
are
at-
really good and really respectful, but you know, there are some really almost stalking kind of fans out there. I've seen a few, I've known a few.
There was one that called herself out at STLV this year.
It's a math thing. Look, there's 4,000 people on this ship. All it takes is one asshole. There could be
That's true.
3,999 excellent people. One asshole is going to spoil it for next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't be that person. Patrol that person if you see them.
Yeah.
There have been
We had that problem at karaoke one night. There was a problem at karaoke.
Mhm.
With
there have
some,
been nights where they've had problems. There have also been people kicked off the ship mid cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had meth guy from 2 years ago.
Mm.
He took meth and ran down the hallways butt ass naked.
Oh, missed that. Wow.
Then you had another guy who sexually assaulted another person on the cruise and got left at another port.
Guys, there's cameras all over that ship, so don't think you're going to get away with something. There is cameras all over that ship.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get away with it?
And we all would go to the aid of somebody getting hurt
Absolutely.
or picked on or, you know,
Yeah.
or
Yes. Remember
we'd
consent.
stand up or say something.
Consent.
Even if you're taking a photo with somebody, ask them, is it okay if I put my arm around you?
Ask them if they want the photo.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
Don't assume that just because they're dressed up
They want to get photoed.
that they're
Stand-
going to want to take a photo with you.
Standard rule of thumb at any convention is if the person is sitting down, they are taking a break, you don't even ask, you just assume it's a no. If they're standing up and milling about, you at least ask.
There's a
And-
lot of people in costumes, really good costumes. And,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, they get asked constantly. They can't walk down the hall or the promenade without being stopped 50 times.
When you get a photo, please don't stand in the middle of the aisle. This is just a common courtesy for conventions and cruises and anywhere. Stand off to the side.
Yeah.
The promenade is a big space, but they usually have tables in the middle of the promenade. The promenade, for people who don't realize, is the big, like, think of a giant mall.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. It's a mall with stores and restaurants with a big hallway. But usually in that big hallway, there's tables for them trying to sell stuff to you. So you think you have plenty of room, but you don't. Move off to the side. It's not hard. It's just one of my pet peeves. Every time I get people ask for photos of me, I go, okay, let me move over to the side.
Also,
Unless you probably want a better background of, you know, a solid background than some random people in the background.
if you ask someone to take a photo, take the photo. Think of it this way: you get one reshot, and then move on, because you're taking away from their time too on the ship.
Mhm.
I know you can't sit there and say, "Oh, this one, oh, I blinked," or "You blinked," and then 30 photos later, no, that's not appropriate.
Usually when someone's taking a photo, they take 2 or 3 anyways. I do. When somebody asks me
I
for
do
a photo,
too.
I take 2 or 3 just to be courtesy to them. And they can pick the best one they like.
The only time that it's permissible to take more than one snap at is if the person taking the photo is like, "No, we need to take another photo." Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone
There
tries
is
to do
things
their
called
best to get
Photoshop, guys.
photos. But there's going to be
Your eyes are closed.
no?
I'm sorry. There's a thing called Photoshop. So if your eyes end up being closed, people on the internet can make your eyes flicker to open.
And also, a few weeks after the cruise ends, there's going to be a huge photo dump of professional photos done of everyone on the cruise, essentially.
Because there are a bunch of photographers walking around and getting pictures of
It's not one-
everything.
It's a freaking team of like 20.
Yes.
Okay, and they want the photos. And you wouldn't know it by the emails we've been getting every month.
Yeah, somebody became popular on one of those emails.
Where they seem to use the same group of people, my group of people.
We saw you.
Well,
You were looking a little green around the gills there, Matt.
Well, the other group of people that it's like in every every email. Those are my Vegas peeps.
Yep.
And they somehow seem to keep reusing the same 3 photos over and over. But they do take thousands and thousands of photos, and they do a big, huge dump by night at the end of the cruise. The one thing I have not seen them ever do, unfortunately, is I've not seen them ever release any videos of any panels.
And they say they're going to, and they never do.
Yeah. So, don't expect the panels to get released, but photos, yes.
Unless some private person did it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the panels, in the past, or not about this year, but in the past, let's say you can't make it to a panel. Let's say you end up getting seasick. That happens. A lot of times they'll broadcast it to your cabin. So if you can't make it for some reason, or
that's a good
you're getting ready, that's happened to me where I was getting ready. I was getting ready for the night's party, and I was going to go to a panel, but then our toilet decided to overflow. So I was waiting for the maintenance guys to come and fix the toilet. And so what was nice was I could turn on the TV and watch the panel on the TV while I was waiting for the guys to come fix the toilet. So it's really nice. Maybe you need that time to decompress, but you really want to see a panel. It's a good time to stay in your cabin and watch it, but also be away from people, because we all going to need some time to decompress from being around people constantly.
And there will be something that Eric loves to have happen in your cabin, and that is a repeat of constant Star Trek 24/7 on like 5 channels.
But it's like the same 4 episodes over and over.
Doesn't matter. But I did hear somebody out there ask, put in a suggestion like, can we not have the same block, playing over and over again, kind of change it up here and there? So who knows what's going to happen this year? It could be a little
But it
bit
was really nice. There was like 5 channels. Like there was one channel just dedicated to the movies, and then one was like dedicated to DS9 and TNG. It was nice to have dedications, but I also wish it was just randomized.
But also, when you're looking at the schedule, you're going to notice a lot of things are happening at the same time.
Oh, I know.
Decisions.
It's impossible. It is literally, physically, and temporally impossible.
Temporally, yeah.
To make it to every single thing that's going on all day long, every day. It's just not possible. Jay tried.
Tried. I wish he was here to say, but he tried his best.
That was funny too.
He had his little backpack on, and he would be running across the one side of the ship to the other. Oh, I gotta go see this. I gotta go. Oh, but I gotta go see. And
Jay reminded me of a little kid going to Disney World for the first time.
And mind you, Scott, Jenny, myself, and Eric, we're just lounging by the pool because we've seen these panels.
That's the best time to go, is during a panel. If you want to go to the pool or you want to get in the hot tub, go to one of the panels that you don't really know. If you've seen it, or because these celebs, they like to repeat the same stories over and over again.
So a lot of the same stories get told over and over again.
Which is, I understand, because there's new people who haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have new people, which is gonna be nice. So
So, with that being said, remember this is essentially an adult cruise. So yes, there will be language that the celebrities drop a lot more than they would normally at a convention.
There's also going to be a lot more skin.
Yes.
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 You're muted, by the way, Aaron, if you said something.
I just use the word situations, and you can fill in the rest.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry if you don't want to hear it. Leave the panels. Leave the. But it's gonna happen.
Just be prepared. If you don't want to hear it, listen to it and be prepared. There's going to be people who will like to flaunt their lifestyles.
And it's not just the patrons but the celebrities do drop a lot of F-bombs and
F-bombs and stuff. Especially when they come to a panel after they've done the whiskey tasting. At
one point, the guy, I can't think of his first, Anthony Montgomery, lost his pants on a panel.
Well, so did JP. Oh my God, dance! He was down to it. Whoa, like a thong.
So just be aware that this is an adult cruise, adult convention. There will be some 13 and up kids, but be prepared for adult. Everything's geared towards adult conversation.
And if you're sensitive with like anything lifestyle wise, I would suggest maybe not coming, because you're going to meet a lot of people who have.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? Like I tell people all the time, don't yunk anybody's yum. That's a great way, but just be prepared for it.
Yeah, I will say it was tamer last year than it was the year before.
This is true. Yes, it was.
We didn't have the full
Somebody's not there. Yeah.
Space, but it's out there, and I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not running around trying to possibly meet a nice young lady, but I'm single. I have a right to do that.
Or you will respect them. I mean, actually, most of the people who have this lifestyle are very respectful.
Yeah.
They might be interesting, but they were all one of the lifestyles is mostly going to be a lot of kinkiness. I'll just say that.
There's gonna be pineapple people, also known as swingers.
Puppies.
There's gonna be some puppies. There's gonna be some furries. There's gonna be some.
What's a puppy? I don't know that. Sorry.
Okay, you remember the guys walking around with the dog mask on?
Okay.
Yeah, other dog masks. That's.
I know furries.
Puppies are basically people who they have a pet kink where they act like they're a pet.
Oh, okay.
So they think they're a dog, or they do bedroom dog
They
stuff.
act like a dog. They act like a dog and get treated like a dog in the bedroom, and they bring it out of the bedroom.
I didn't run into any of those.
John and I ran into one on an elevator, and yes, he was unique, and yes, he was interesting, but he was respectful.
But it wasn't a Star Trek dog like Porthos or something? Or
No, it was like an actual.
Last year there were 4 of them. The year before that there was only 1. But his little group grew. There's also going to be a lot of LGBTQ plus people that will be having a lot of fun and showing off their stuff. So,
like I said, don't yuck anybody's yum.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
They have the right. This is only probably one of the rare times they get to, express themselves in the way that they want to be expressed.
Remember,
they do it to you, and so
IDIC.
Yep. Star Trek's philosophy, IDIC. So,
okay, so after that, a lot of parties, a lot of eating, drinking. Please try to get some sleep.
Yeah, really.
Just try, because sleep's the best medicine. I know, Matt, it's a different story.
What's sleep?
But please try to get at least a couple hours of sleep, because that's how you can. If you don't get sleep, that's one reason you can get sick.
You will see me at 6 a.m. in the Windjammer, and you'll still see me at 5 a.m. up and about walking around the ship.
I'm just going to say, this is the weird thing. I found when I go to the Star Trek cruise and other big conventions, I don't drink coffee the whole time I'm there because it's like, oh, I go to sleep and I want to get up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like that encourages me to sleep because, like, no, I'll actually want to get up once I get 6, 7, 8 hours of actual rest.
Yep.
Yeah, so at least, like I said, try. It's the best way. Is
Drink
to leave a couple
water.
hours of sleep.
I was just
Drink
about to
water.
say, please stay hydrated. We've had
Yeah,
several
water
people that
With water, not alcohol.
What was it? 3 years ago, we had 3 people go down within the first 20 minutes. We hadn't even left.
Yeah, it was during the launch party. Yeah.
It was really hot that year, but yeah, like guys, drink some water before you get on the cruise, because the first day you're going to be running around. You're going to be standing outside on that cruise deck watching all the celebrities come out on the stage.
I hope they don't do the watch party in the theater again this year.
There are reasons for that. I think it was raining and they had to move it to be able to do it, or there was some.
Last year was
going on.
cold. Last year was cold.
Yeah.
Because
I think they're not going to go to LA ever again, because I think,
The weather was awful.
well, I don't think that ever again. I think they did say they want to rotate it more often to places.
yeah.
I would be surprised if we go every third year.
Anyway, so there's water stations pretty much throughout there's anywhere you can go, any of the bars have water, and it's actually decently tasting water, so don't worry about it as tap water, but it's actually pretty good. But if you're worried about tap water, you can buy bottled water delivered to your house.
Do not drink out of your faucets.
No,
Do not
one
drink
of the
out.
water stations.
Okay. That it's clean water, but it's not clean water.
It's clean water enough to shower and wash your hands with,
And
but
brush
it's
your-
not and brush your teeth with, because you're not swallowing the water when you brush your teeth, hopefully. But it's not filtered enough to be drinking. You can technically drink that water.
Yes.
I-
In an emergency, you can drink it. But there's so much water on the ship that's available for you that you shouldn't be drinking that.
Now, there is signs that say do not fill your water bottle at some stations. So just be reminded. Like you go to the promenade, they have water stations off to the side. And they usually say do not fill your water bottle up here. But you can just ask for a glass of water and fill it up. It's not hard, guys.
Yep.
But drink water.
All right.
Typically eat. And that's pretty much that's pretty much the cruise. Getting off the cruise.
The only other tip that I've got, since we've covered a lot, is to bring comfortable shoes, because you are going to be running around and doing a lot, and you don't want your feet to constantly hurt you, because that'll just take part of the fun away.
Bring a variety of shoes.
Yes. Yes.
Bring flip-flops, bring tennis shoes, bring some dress shoes. Do not bring heels.
You're not going to like it.
Mm,
And I know you have
Got one pair. One
Everyone
pair.
I know that brings heels wears them for about 2 minutes, and they either hurt their ankle because the ship moved in a way that they weren't expecting, or they just didn't. They started hurting their feet because they weren't used to wearing them on a deck.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna bring anything, bring wedges, but don't bring heels.
I'm proud of you that you know the difference between heels and wedges.
I can talk to you more about that. I mean, there's all sorts of heels, wedges, and chunks, and all sorts of stuff. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about stiletto?
Now you're talking. Remember, you only have 14 thongs to wear.
I know.
I should stress thong in this context is slang for sandal.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
It's
No,
a running
this is
joke,
in-
Aaron. Sorry.
Banana hammock.
I forgot the banana hammock.
Oh, God.
I had wiped that from my memory completely.
Okay, so let's just finish it up a little bit because it's
Okay.
getting late.
Yeah.
So
Aaron, I'm sorry. I
Fine.
tortured you.
there are options to get off the ship. I highly suggest you do the walk off because it's a lot easier. You can get off basically anytime you want, and you keep your luggage with you. That's one option. The other option is you pack up your stuff, and you have to pack up the night before, and you have to have your luggage out on the hallways by 10 p.m. that night. So make sure you close for the next day and anything you need that night in the morning, and you'll carry on. They, throughout the night, will take all your suitcases, load them up, and then they will unload them out, and then you have, so they're off in the port. Those times you have specific times you have to get off.
I will say this: if you walk off, it doesn't matter what time you leave your thing. You can, if you need extra time, you got extra time.
Yeah.
They really want you. They really want you off the ship, by like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Because we dock at 5 or 6 in the morning, and they want everyone off by 9 or 10 because they need to flip the ship for the next group that's coming on, and the next crew that's coming on is going to be a lot more wild and crazy than we are. And
Oh, really?
It's the 80s cruise. They're going next after us.
they have been known to drink the ship dry.
Damn.
And you thought us Trekkies drink a lot.
Yeah,
So
they drink more.
So,
of course, everyone gets the alcohol package on the 80s cruise.
makes sense. So I think all of us typically walk off without. Does anybody do the walk off?
One year we did, one year we didn't.
Did you like doing it the year you didn't?
It was nicer not having to drag the big suitcase and the 2 carry-on bags and the backpacks all ourselves.
That's a good thing, yeah.
And
But
once we
also-
got down there, we still had to wait like an hour for the GoPort bus to get there. They or filled up, and the line was really long. And so
One
It
time
was-
it took us like an hour to find our bags.
Yeah, that's
Really?
the problem because they're in
Oh,
a
it didn't
giant.
take us long.
I guess it depends on what time and who's all there. It's in think of a giant warehouse,
Yeah.
and then all your suitcases just sitting out in the giant warehouse. Now I know they organize by like groupings and stuff, but can you imagine trying to find your suitcase and a sea of suitcases that are mostly black? That's why I just got new suitcases, and I did not get black suitcases because it's much easier to find your
Yeah.
suitcase.
Yeah,
Yes.
colored ones. That's mine's like turquoise, and we've got like Welsh flags on them and Star Trek on the side. But
Yeah.
of course,
So
you can't
if you
see the
do have
side
a
if it's
black
all jammed
suitcase-
together.
If you do have a black suitcase, find some like bright neon
Yeah.
tape or ribbon or not. I wouldn't say plastic, but something that's not going to rip off.
Right. So
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. And then getting off the ship is easy. Usually they have buses to take you to the airport. Now, just be mindful. You can't check into your airline and at least until 4 hours till. So if you have, they tell you to book a late flight, but if you get off at like, let's say 9 a.m., you get to the airport like, I don't know, 10, probably 30 minutes, an hour, you're going to have a long wait outside the airport before you even get into the airport.
I can remember what maybe it was 3 or 4 years ago. I got off my plane, off the cruise, went to the airport, and I sat in the ticketing area for 7 hours before I could go back. And then they canceled my flight.
Oh my gosh.
So just be mindful of return flights. A few of us like to stay the night before of a hotel near the airport. Kind of like that because on the cruise you don't have a lot of room to really pack your suitcase. So what we end up doing is just throwing everything in a suitcase, and then we check in to a hotel near the airport that has free shuttle to the airport. Then we get to the hotel room, we unpack and actually officially pack a suitcase and check the weight and all that stuff, and then we're good to go to leave out the next morning. It's just option, but you can go straight from the cruise to the airport. Apparently, River agrees.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Final thing, and I said it earlier, if you see us, say hi. We'll be
around.
We're gonna be around. Most people see the beard before they see me.
Go, hey, I know y'all, but I like Matt. Where is he? And then never see him again.
Yep.
I can't wait. So we're not going to be on next week?
No, next week, Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right.
And then I fly out the next evening.
And we all have like early dinner and late show.
We all have early dinner, late show. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, late show.
Good.
Second
Can we
show.
have dinner together that first night, all of us at a table, possibly?
Sure.
That would be fun. And welcome dinner. If you,
I know Matt
don't already
has
have
other people.
something.
I believe I'm free the first night. I'm not speaking for Eric. Eric can speak for himself if he can join you guys for dinner or not. Okay. But I believe I'm free the first night.
Let's close up the chat, the stream, and we can talk off stream for a few minutes. Does that sound good for y'all?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
I will try to do webcam.
I don't know what Jay says. So live long and prosper, and we will not be on for next
3 weeks. I think
it
is.
Possibly 4.
Oh no, it's more. Yeah, we're back on March 6th.
March 6th.
Okay.
Potentially, we'll see. So bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Have a good night.